See the question. Draw the projections of a square prism of side 40 mm and height 50 mm resting on HP on one of its square faces and one vertical face parallel to VP. The nearer edge parallel to VP is 40 mm in front of BP. First of all, consider the three-dimensional geometry of this question. Here, the vertical plane is represented by a blue plane here and written as VP. Then horizontal plane is represented by a green plane here and it is written as HP. Now this is the case of a square prism. Now that square prism is represented by the top corners A, B, C and D. Bottom corners are represented by 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now it is given that the side of the prism is 40 mm. That means side AB or BC is equal to 40 mm, or 1, 2 or 2, 3 is 40 mm, and the square prism is resting on HP on one of its square faces. That means here the prism is resting on HP with its bottom face 1, 2, 3, 4 is on the HP. Another point given in the question is the nearer edge parallel to VP is 40 mm in front of the VP. That means in this case the face DC34, this face, that means this face DC34 is parallel to the vertical plane, and it is at a distance of 40 mm from the vertical plane. That means this distance, the parallel face is at a distance of 40 mm from the vertical plane. And another point given is the height of the prism is 50 mm. That means the distance 1A or 2B is equal to 50 mm. So this is the present condition, and we have to draw the projections of the square prism. Now consider the front view of the square prism. So front view will be obtained in vertical plane when we are looking along the face 1, 2, BA. We are looking from this side, and corresponding to this side you will get the front view on the vertical plane. So when we are looking from front side, this side, we can see that the corners D, C and 3, 4 are not visible because these corners are behind the corners 1, 2, BA. So because of this, we have to represent the corners D and C in the front view inside the brackets, and the front view letters are always represented by dashes. That means A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. So corresponding to the point A and B, when we are looking from front side, these points or these corners are visible and it is represented outside the bracket A dash, B dash. Corresponding to A and B, at the back side the points are D and C. These corners are not visible when we are looking from the front side, so it is to be represented inside the brackets, and that can be represented by letters D dash and C dash inside the bracket. Similarly, corresponding to the bottom corners 1, 2, 3 and 4, the points visible when we are looking from front side are corners 1 and 2. So it can be represented by 1 dash, 2 dash, and the back points 3 and 4 are not visible from the front side, so it has to be represented inside the brackets 3 dash and 4 dash. So this is the front view of the square prism. Now we have to represent this three-dimensional geometry in the 2D plane, and for that we are considering the intersection of vertical plane and horizontal plane. It is represented by a straight line xy here, and the area above the xy line will be represented by vertical plane, and the area below the xy line is represented by horizontal plane. Now, as I explained earlier, the square prism is situated one of its square faces along or on the HP, and the parallel face nearer parallel place is at a distance of 40 mm. So first of all, draw a line 40 mm and mark the points here, and the edges of the prism is given as 40 mm. Now this is the 40 mm distance. Here we can represent the top corners and bottom corners. So first of all, consider the top corners A, B, C and D. So when we are looking from the top side, you will get the corresponding projections on HP. At that time, the corners A, B, C and D will be visible. So that points can be represented outside the bracket A, B, C and D in the top view. Then corresponding to these top corners, the bottom corners 1, 2, 3 and 4 will not be visible when we are looking from top side. So these points is to be represented outside the brackets 1. These points should be represented inside the brackets 1, 2, 3 and 4. So mark these points and join the points or the corners AB, BC, CD, DA, or 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. And this figure represents the top view of the square prism. Now we have to draw the front view, and for that draw the projections from this top view from the points D and C into the XY line, and these projections will be always represented by dotted line. Now in question it is given that the height of the prism is for 50 mm. Now we have to mark the points at a distance of 50 mm from the XY line. Then corresponding to the top view corners ABCD and bottom corners 1, 2, 3, 4, mark the points here. And from this figure it is clear that the points 1, 2, 3, 4 is resting on HP. So it is to be when we are looking from front side, we will get the projections of or the front view of these projections in the XY line, that is at the intersection of HP and VP. So it is to be represented here, and as I mentioned earlier, when we are looking from front side, corners 1 and 2 will be visible. So it is to be represented outside the bracket with the dashes, that means 1 dash and 2 dash. Then the corners 3 and 4 are not visible when we are looking from the front side, so it has to be represented inside the brackets. Corresponding to the back point is 3, so here 3 dash will be the letter inside the bracket, and here corresponding to point 1, the corner at the back side of the point 1 is 4, and it has to be represented inside the bracket as 4 dash. Now consider the top corners of the prism A, B, C, D. So here the corners A and B are visible, so it has to be represented outside the bracket as A dash, B dash, and the points at the back side of A is D and C corresponding to B. So the points C and D will be inside the bracket and is to be represented as C dash and D dash inside the brackets. Now join the points A dash, B dash, A dash 1 dash, B dash 2 dash, 1 dash 2 dash, and here 1 dash 2 dash, B dash, A dash will be the front view or it has to be represented as 4 dash 3 dash C dash D dash. So this is the final two-dimensional drawing of the question. I will explain one more for the method of drawing the final figure. So first of all, draw the XY line, mark the points VP and HP, then mark the distance 40 mm, mark the points A, B, C, D, join all these corners. The distance corresponding to the corners are 40 mm, it is represented here. Now draw the projections, show the height 50 mm, mark the corners, join all these corners. So this one will be the top view and this one will be the front view.